Hey, it's Monique here. I was on my way back to the studio today. I've just been out walking around Takapuna, grabbing my morning coffee, and I said to Pete on the way back to the studio, hey, I'm going back to make a smoothie. I wonder if I should show everybody exactly what I eat for lunch. And the reason I want to do this is there's a bit of a story. First of all, I get heaps of people messaging me over and over again, Monique, why do you have so much energy? Are you naturally this bubbly? Are you on drugs? I get asked that all the time. How many coffees do you drink in a day? Why are you so bubbly? Well, number one, it's part of my personality, but number two, I also make sure that every mouthful counts. So I eat lots of really good food. Well, I try to. I still have cheat days like everyone else. And I also try to look after myself with good nutrition, and I've read a lot about it, and I kind of use my body as a guinea pig, I guess you could say. So, oh, hi Christy, nice to see you on the feed today. But there's a bit of a story behind it. The reason why I'm sharing my journey is that I actually used to be morbidly obese a long time ago, so in my early 20s, and in fact Pete's going to show you a picture right now. This was me when I was 19. I was actually 110 kilos at that stage. I was already starting to suffer with anxiety. I was really starting to struggle with depression. I'd lost my dad, so I lost my dad quite young, and I really myself. Now, at the same time, I was eating lots of processed food, a lot of comfort food. I have always been a big fan of takeaways, and the result was that was what my body was like. Around that time I decided to make some big changes to the way I eat, and I actually ended up going the opposite way. So in 8 months I went from 110 kilos down to 42 kilos, and I actually ended up with massive problems with my body. I had no energy, I still felt really crap, and the exuberance that I had when I was bigger had kind of disappeared. So what I've done for the last 20 plus years is tried to find ways to feel good on the inside and feel good about myself on the outside. So I'm going to share this with you today. I don't normally do this, but I'm actually going to show you what my body looks like now, just as a comparison. So you saw what I looked like before. Oh my God, I can't believe I'm doing this on camera. And this is, I hope I don't show camel toe or anything, but this is what my body kind of looks like now. So you can see there's quite a difference. I'm a lot smaller. I'm not 42 kilos anymore because that was too small. I'm about 68 to 70 kilos, and that's really good for my height, my age. I could be fitter. We can all be fitter. But the most important thing is I feel good on the inside and I feel good on the outside. I feel healthy and I've got lots of energy. So one of the key things that I did to help lose weight and to feel better emotionally, physically, mentally, is I ensured that a bit like Dr. Libby and Chef Cynthia Louise, every mouthful counts. So I'm really mindful of what I eat. And of course, we all are time poor. So if you're like me, you probably are a fan of smoothies, but not all smoothies are created the same. So there's a lot of smoothies that are loaded with extra sugars. If they've got frozen yogurt in them, they could be hiding extra fat or extra sugar. And just because something says a frozen yogurt's 99% fat-free, where do you think the flavor's coming from? Probably loads and loads of extra sugar. So I started becoming a fan of raw food smoothies. So going to places like Little Bird, or now here in Takapuna we have Street Organics. The smoothies are really great and I love them. So I thought I'm going to experiment with different flavors, and I'm going to show you today my favorite, which is the Cinnamon Nut Smoothie. And what you've got in it is just loads of good nutrition. There are key things you need to make a smoothie really cool. First of all, you need your fluid. I choose almond milk because I really like the flavour of it. I try and restrict my dairy, not because I have a problem with it, but I've just decided I don't want to add lots of dairy into my life. I just want the right amount of dairy. So I start usually with that should be about 250 to 300 mils of almond milk. Now almond milk is really cool. It's a little bit of extra protein that you can add into your diet. There's no trans fats. It's a tiny bit, 0.3 grams per serve of saturated fat. It's got all the good stuff. There's no cholesterol. carbohydrates, but you know, it's what gives you energy, no gluten, it's all the good stuff. So consider even making your own nut milk at home as well, because you can do that. There's recipes on the internet. I like my smoothies as cold as possible, so I always add in Jonathan Penrose, nice to see you watching from Christchurch. I always add in a cold sauce as well. So there you go, usually about 6 ice cubes is about enough. It also kind of thickens your smoothie up as well, so that's really cool. I always like to add in a couple of dates. Now here's the thing, the perfect caramel tasting smoothie is actually made from a few medjool dates and cashew nuts. Blend those up together and you'll get a caramel flavour. So that kind of caramelizes the flavour of your smoothie, and it gives it a little bit of sweetness as well. I always add in a banana. Now this size banana is the perfect size for a smoothie. I find a bigger size banana, I only end up using half of it anyway. And bananas, obviously you've got potassium, which you can add into your diet. All of the stuff is great for a happy brain. That's where I'm starting from. If your brain's doing well, you make better choices for the rest of your body. So start from there. Okie dokie. Now, I've been working, as you will have seen on my Facebook page, I've been working quite a lot with Ray McVinney. That guy, seriously, he's a genius. Oh, hello, Amanda Baker. Nice to see you, honey. I hope you're doing well. Now, he taught me that when you take a legume and a grain, so in this instance I'm using peanut butter, which is a legume, and because I really like it, it's about a tablespoon there. Do you guys eat peanut butter out of the jar like I do? Oh, so addicted to it, it's great. But I also think too, you know, it's kind of another source of protein, especially when you add a legume like that and you combine it with a grain. So I'm actually going to add about a tablespoon, about that much, of oats in there. So when you mix the legume and the oats together, which are your grain, it actually makes what we call a complete form of protein. So for those of you who want something that's going to be longer sustaining energy wise, you need to add a little bit of protein in there. I know some people who use protein sachets like this. This is protein, it's a whole food plant protein, really great for you. It's slightly flavoured, so if you're going to add something like that, just be mindful, it will change the taste of your smoothie as well. So just be mindful of that. It's all about the flavour. It's got to start with flavour. It's got to taste good. And because I learnt also too over the years, listening to people like Dr. Libby, things like cinnamon or cayenne pepper are actually really good for your metabolism. So if you're feeling a bit sluggish, add a little bit of cinnamon, and it tastes great, right? So good. Add a little bit of that into your smoothie, and by jingos, by hokey, delicious. So I've got it all here. Another thing you can add into your smoothies, cacao. I mean, seriously, this stuff is so good. It gives you the chocolatiest smoothies. And the cool thing about cacao is it's actually loaded with antioxidants. Antioxidants fight free radicals, which can or may lead to cancer and things like that. So it's another great way of making that mouthful count. And there you go. I've got my liquid, I've got my sweetener. You can also add in here, sometimes I've made it with a couple of pieces of broccoli, or you can add in kale. Remember though, when you're adding in a leafy green, it will change the flavour slightly, but it is a great way of adding extra nutrients into your diet. And remember, all those nutrients make your brain healthy. Okay, bit of noise team, bit of noise. Okay, that is my lunch. Always serve it in a pretty glass. And the reason why I do that is I like a sense of occasion. You know, when you go out for lunch with your friends or you go out for brunch, a little bit of pomp and ceremony makes it a little bit special, and you kind of relish it a little bit more. Oh seriously, so good. That's really good. Okay, so pour it in there. Look at that. Now normally I put a lid on and put a straw in it. Oh, so good. Now if you want to make it look pretty, so if you're going to serve something like this up to your friends, you want to impress them, you know, you've all been to Sunday morning yoga together and it's come back to mine, I'll make you smoothies. seriously, add on the top either a little sprinkle of your cinnamon, or you can even add some sesame seeds. I've got them in here. I always keep them in the pantry. And it kind of gives it a really cool nutty crunch as well when you add the sesame seeds in. And you can kind of sprinkle them across half so it looks like one of those smoothies you get in one of those raw food cafes. The best thing about this is you know what's gone in it. The oats thicken it up so it's really filling in your tummy, and you're not paying $9 or $10 for a smoothie. This has probably cost me about $1.50. So it's all about knowing what goes in it, controlling what you eat, and you know, the cool thing is I know everything is going to make my brain happy too. Hang on, let me try it. Oh yeah, right there. You can taste the peanuts. It's not chunky either, because I know some people think, oh, it's a bit chunky, you know, what's it going to be like? Beautiful. And the cool thing is you've got protein in there, you've got, you know, it's thick enough, it's quite filling, you've got all those antioxidants in there from all of the ingredients. You've got a little bit of sweetness, but it's not too sweet, not too over the top. You've got all the goodness of the almond milk, and even better, it won't weigh you down throughout the day. So this is a great way to add extra energy, great for before you go to the gym. And you know what? This is like sunshine and happiness in a glass. Who wouldn't love it? Oh, so good. Hey, now if you want the actual recipe, you can actually head to my website, moniquebradley.co.nz, and look for cinnamon smoothie. To make the best smoothie ever, the key ingredients you need are, you need your liquid, something to cool it down, something to sweeten it, a little bit of plant also helps, and then something to excite it, like a little bit of cinnamon. And always remember, it's about adding that bit of protein for sustained longer energy throughout the day. That's how I add extra happiness and energy to my day, and I can't wait to hear from you guys and see what you think of my cinnamon smoothie. Hey, thanks for watching. Happy Tuesday, and if you're free tonight, join me on Your Fix TV or on the Ray McVinney Facebook page for our live stream cooking show tonight. Thanks guys for watching. See you next time.